Hey, what is going on? This is Nick from Sausages Over Washington and the Grizzly Adams, and I'm here to bring you the very first unboxing I've ever done. So I guess let's get started. So, the guitar I got is in this box. I don't know if I should tell you what guitar I got, or I should just open it. I've never done one of these before. You're bearing with me in this process. I got a Squier Paranormal Series Supersonic. Let's open her up. Okay. Now, I will say one thing before I actually open this up. Hear this? The guitar is moving in there, and that's not the best sign. However, it does feel like they put it in a soft case, which I wasn't expecting, and that definitely is better than if they just threw it in there. But if you're ever packing a guitar, one thing you want to make sure you do is you always want to make sure that the guitar cannot move inside the case, because these things get like tossed around all the time, and it being tossed the wrong way throws the weight in one direction, and then it causes, you know, all sorts of issues. But if it doesn't move at all, no matter how much it gets tossed around, it should be pretty safe. But in any case, it does feel like there's one solid piece of wood in here, so I'm going in it with a positive outlook. Never use the knife towards you, always away from you. I learned that the hard way. Oh, it's a box within a box. So maybe they didn't put it in a soft case. I think this might work better if I sit down. That's better. Alright, now let's slide it out. You know, I'm trying to make this look like a sexy, like, unsheathing of a beautiful like sword or something, and I'm totally messing it up. But I hope you guys are enjoying this. Alright, so this is how she was wrapped up. Definitely allows for a little bit of movement in there, but I'm not stressing it. In any case, let's go ahead and start taking some stuff off. Looks like she's wrapped in a thing, so I'm going to need two hands for this. So let me go ahead and put this back on so you can kind of see. Alright, so first things first, going to go ahead and just take her out of the box here. Feels very, very light right off the bat. There's some literatura. I know you guys are probably like, open the guitar already. And let's unsheath the sword. And here is the trem bar. And a little Allen wrench for the truss rod adjustment, I assume, as well as for the saddles. And voila. Wow. Gotta take this guy off. Whew. Oh my goodness. Take a look. Squier Paranormal Series Supersonic. The logo looks nice on there. Its neck is really, really, like, I know it's 24 scale, and I've seen videos where they've talked about how the kind of tapers off towards the headstock, and I feel what they're talking about. Oh. That was not in tune, which I didn't expect anyway. Wow. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm checking for any kind of dings or finish cracks. This is actually one of the first times I've ever bought a guitar brand new. And actually, this is the first time I've ever bought a guitar brand new. I've bought guitars that, you know, I've got from the shop that are new, but have been played and stuff. But this, I mean, we're in the middle of quarantine. I can't imagine many people played this guitar. And in any case, it was wrapped in the what I assume was the same wrapping that came from the factory. But in any case, looks very nice. Okay, don't see any cracks. Wow, so yeah, this is a metallic graphite metallic finish, and I wanted this one over the other one. So it's graphite, and there's also ice blue metallic. And I'll tell you why I wanted this one over the blue, because the blue one was beautiful, but this one, if you look closely, you can see a little bit of grain in there. You see a little bit of the gunmetal. I mean, it's not the same. It's not nearly as, you know, intense. The amount of grain, if you will, you see in there. It's not as intense as like the original sparkle finishes from the Vista series, but still, I think like a good remnant, and it kind of has a blue tint to it, and I kind of like that about it. There's something striking about that dark graphite with the aged pick guard and those pickups. Just a really, really sleek look. So, wow. I am really stoked on this guitar. What I love right now about this so much is that it's so freaking light. Holy crap. I mean, it's just incredibly light. I mean, I love my Jaguar Rio partially because of how light it is. And this is just, it's even lighter than that. Wow. Wow, it opens up a lot actually. The way that the neck tapers off and it kind of expands out. And you know, it's interesting because I'm used to playing Jags where the horn, if this was a Jag, you know, that horn would be a little bit closer, but actually this body feels pretty smaller. It feels smaller than a Jag, which is kind of cool. There's more neck there, or it feels like there's more neck, even though it's just a 24 scale. Cool. Well, tell you what, I'm going to plug her in and give her a test, and I'll give you guys a peek. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in a second. All right, guys, I am back, and you've probably noticed that I have a different shirt on. I gotta be honest with you. I was so excited to get this guitar and to start playing it and messing with it that I didn't have the patience or the wherewithal to like put together my thoughts to put a review where we test the tone and everything like that. I was just kind of like needing to just try it all out for myself first. So this is the next day. What's good about waiting a day to make this portion of the video was that I was able to kind of get it to stay in tune, because it doesn't matter how well together a guitar is, when it goes through shipping, it's going to take a little bit for it to stay in tune after it comes from like that kind of a journey. Plus, I can already feel the strings. The strings definitely need to be changed. They just have that old string feel. But actually, I use this thing, and I'll show it to you right now. This is called, this is from GHS, and I'm not endorsed by them, by the way, so this is not one of those things. This is just like a really cool product that I like a lot. GHS Fast Fret. And what's cool about this is it has a very like non-invasive, doesn't hurt your guitar in any way, shape, or form, doesn't create any oil or anything like that. It's just like a mineral that's on this little pad here. and you rub that on the strings, and it really just wakes them up. So, you know, I've used, when I used to tour with another band that I used to play in, this was a lifesaver. Because, I mean, you don't always have time to change your strings, and, you know, you tend to sweat a lot when you play, and if you want to make your strings last longer, you use this before and after you play, and it makes a huge difference. Or if you just have some dead strings and you don't have time to change them and you just want to wake them up a little bit, this thing is really, really, really good and helpful for that. So anyway, so I used it on the strings to just kind of give some more life to them, and it definitely made a difference. But anyway, enough about the little intricacies. Let's talk about the guitar. So, man, so many thoughts. But tell you what, let's listen to what it sounds like. So I have everything clean. The only thing that I have, the only effect that I have is my Strymon Blue Sky for some reverb. We're going out through my Fender Bassman 59, mic'd up with an SM57 on the top left cone. Here it is, neck pickup. We're going to do the middle position now, and the cool thing about the middle position is actually just a perfect combination of both the neck and bridge pickups. And why do I say perfect combination? Well, because there is no tone knob on these guitars. It's just neck pickup, bridge pickup. So we'll get into some nitty-gritty cool details about that in a second. But for right now, here's the sound on the middle position. And now to the bridge. Very cool. Now before we go ahead and put on some distortion, let me just talk again about how this whole thing works up in here. So like I was saying earlier, both those pickups have no tone knob. So there's no tone knob to this guitar at all. It's all just volume for each pickup. And the cool thing about that in the middle position is, check this out. So, well, first of all, one thing that's kind of cool and quirky about this is that the neck volume is actually further away than the bridge volume. So if you want to adjust the neck, is the neck position. Volume's down here. Anyways, so in the middle position, the cool thing is that if I were to lower the volume, or if I were to take away one of the pickups and then switch, you wouldn't notice the switch. What do I mean by that? Okay, so check it out. So I have both the neck and the bridge pickups fully engaged, right? And this is what it sounds like. Now let me take away the bridge pickup. So the volume's gone on the bridge pickup. And all we have is the volume for the neck. And then if I go from the middle position to the neck position, there's no difference in the way that it sounds, which is kind of like wild to me. Anyway, so here it is, middle position with the bridge turned all the way off. Let's go to the neck. No change. That's just so wild to me. Maybe that's just like a normal thing, and I'm just fascinated by something that's just blasé, whatever. But in any case, I think it's cool. Let's do the same thing with the bridge pickup. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the middle position. Now I'm going to take away the the bridge pickup, or I'm going to take away the neck pickup. And then we're going to listen to it both ways. So this is middle position, but just the bridge on. I don't know. I just think that's really cool. If I wanted to play like this, you know, if I wanted to only keep the middle position on ever, you know, and I could cycle through pickups with the volume knob. Anyways, very, very cool. I like that a lot. As for how it plays, oh man, I can't say enough good things about the way it plays. So as I mentioned before, the neck kind of tapers off a little bit towards the end, towards the headstock. It has like this kind of opening up as you go. And when you combine that with the fact that there's no horn here, this isn't really much of a horn here compared to like a Jag, it opens this whole space up. And it just feels like the neck is like, it reminds me of an SG, to be quite honest with you. Because an SG, you know, it feels like it has a really long neck, even though I think it's just like a normal 25 scale neck. 25 or 25.5, fact check me. But like an SG, feels like it has that long neck. But personally, one of the reasons I don't like SGs is because of that long neck. It feels like there's added tension. And that added tension is kind of uncomfortable for me to play. But this is great because I love Fender 24 scale necks. I like short scales. They just feel more natural and intuitive to me. But yeah, so with this short scale and then with this open area up here, it just feels like you have... It just feels like you have so much more room to move. And that just feels really, really nice. And I do like that it tapers off. It reminds me a lot, and not just in the neck, in more ways than just the neck, but like it does remind me a little bit of a Mustang. I think a Mustang also has that kind of like tapering off towards the headstock as well. But also I mentioned earlier how light it is, and oh man, I just gotta say it is so freaking light. It feels so good to just have in your lap or to have around your back, or on you know, to strap it to yourself. It's really lightweight, and that is just such a big thing for me because I deal with a lot of back issues. So having something that's comfortable, that feels light, that doesn't feel like, you know, it's really pulling on the back muscles and the shoulders and everything like that, really helps for me as a player. Couple of the things, you probably noticed that the angle of the bridge pickup is angled backwards compared to what it normally is. So I don't know if I've talked about this. In my Jaguar Rio, the angle is the opposite. It's more towards the neck, or the top of it is more towards the neck, so it's angled forward. So if I haven't talked about this yet, I'll kind of explain the difference. So if a pickup is angled towards the neck, like forward, basically where a pickup sits on a guitar, it's picking up different kind of frequencies or sounds, or whatever word you want to use to describe it, but it sounds different based off where you put that pickup. Easy way to remember it is closer to the neck, you get bassier tones. Closer to the bridge, it's a little bit more treble, a little bit higher, a little bit more clarity. So with that being said, with the Jaguar Rio, or any guitar you have that has a forward kind of angle, you're getting a little bit more of those that bassiness, you know, that you get from neck pickup. Not exactly, but a little bit more bassiness than you would get otherwise if it was just straight. And then towards the higher strings, those are getting a little bit more of that that treble heavy kind of sound that you get when you're closer to the bridge. So with this being the opposite is what's going on. So the bottom end strings, like the E, A, and D, are going to get much tighter, much brighter, versus the the lower strings, the higher register strings, are getting a little bit more of a mellowing effect to them. And I think that's really cool. And what I like too is that I have it both ways now. So if I want that bridge pickup clarity, bridge pickup output with, you know, a little bit more bassiness, I go for my Jag. If I want a little bit tighter of a sound, I just go for this guy right here. So it's really practical for that sense for me. I'm gonna play just one more little riff with some distortion on it. I know you guys are waiting for it. So let me do that real quick. Let me see what it sounds like. So I'm gonna be using my MXR Dookie pedal. Try a little bit of fuzz now. We're using my pumpkin muff, sorry. So that's just like a small taste. I'll do like a more proper demo once I put some different strings on here. But man, I just gotta say how much I'm stoked on this guitar. Like it's kind of unreal how much I'm stoked on this. And I'll tell you a little bit about part of what attracted to me about it. First of all, I love that it's a reverse offset body. That's just, I mean, it's not exactly a reverse. It's a little bit, like I mentioned, it's a little bit smaller. And this horn here isn't nearly as big as like an actual Jag. But in any case, that's where the inspiration for this design came from. I don't know the guy's name who created the design, but he based it off of a picture of Jimi Hendrix playing a reverse Jazzmaster, or a Jazzmaster, you know, reverse, because he was lefty. So that reverse kind of design always kind of piqued my interest. And then the fact that it's labeled the Paranormal series, that just also caught my attention as well, because if you know anything about me, you know that I'm very into the paranormal and aliens and UFOs, and what better for Saucers Over Washington, right? So, and yeah, then also like the really low price point, $350 for one of these, and I've been seeing really, really good reviews about people who have bought them and had good experiences, so I wanted to jump on the train. So it's a little bit about why I wanted to get this guitar. I also sold a couple of guitars recently, so I felt okay. I felt like the universe was saying to me, "All right, dude, you sold 2 guitars. You can get another one now." Maybe I have a problem. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But in any case, I'm really stoked on it. The Paranormal Squier Supersonic, really great guitar. I don't really do a rating scale or anything like that, but this is a solid, really, really good guitar. If you were thinking about it, I'd recommend it. I am just over the roof, over the wall, over all the things for this guitar. But anyways, guys, you all keep it real out there. I am Nick from Saucers Over Washington and the Grizzly Adams, and I will see you in the next video.